Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear student, welcome once again. Here you know that we are talking about the planning in Pakistan, that what is the planning mechanism in Pakistan, and before going this, that what is the planning machinery, planning mechanism, planning different plans in Pakistan. As usual, I would like to go for the summary of this lecture. If you remember a summary of the previous lecture, if you remember what we talked about the previous lecture, we talked about the political heads as well as the administrative heads. All the institutions, particularly the ministries, have the political heads that are the federal minister. If we are talking about the central, they are the central, the political head. And when we are talking about the civil servants, the secretary is the head of the department, or you can say the administrative head is the secretary for respective department, ministry or whatsoever. We talked about that what is the prime minister and what are the chief minister. Prime minister is the executive of the country, and he is responsible for the functioning of the country. For this purpose, he implies or he selects his cabinet, that is called the federal cabinet. The president is the institutional head of the states. On the other hand, the chief minister is the executive of the province, and the governor is the constitutional head of the province. So in the parliamentary form of affairs, particularly in 1973 constitution, now the presidential and the governor posts, or you can say the institutions, are no more effective. It was a time when these were very powerful, particularly in the era of dictators, Pervez Musharraf, Ziaul Haq and Ayub Khan. They used to be executive head as well as the constitutional head of the state. So rather than going for the prime minister, as you know, the prime minister is selected from the votes of the public, but dictator has nothing to do with the votes. He just comes to the power with his might or power. He uses different tactics that are acceptable to the only nation when the nation is helpless and cannot do these things. So they used to be the presidents of Pakistan. They enjoyed the two, you can say the 2-in-1, the president, the constitutional head, as well as the whole power were concentrated in this post. After this, we talked about the corporation, that what are the corporations, what are the other things. Talking about the province, the administrative head is the chief secretary. He is not from any of the one ministry. He is being helped by many of the secretaries, and below secretary there is the additional secretary, then there is the joint secretary, deputy secretary, and this situation, the lowest rank of officers is the section officer or the under secretary. Then there were the commissions, as the Punjab Public Service Commission. These are some of the government entities that are formed, or they are framed under some specific rules and regulation. So we discussed a bit about these rules and regulation, and we tried to draw a difference between the corporations and the commissions. Then there was the last thing we discussed, that was the ombudsman. In other countries, particularly in the developed countries and the Scandinavian countries, this man is considered from the legislature. But in Pakistan, the situation is a bit different. In Pakistan, this is not, you can say, the part of the legislature. It is appointed by the President of Pakistan on the advice of the Prime Minister. Nowadays, all the key posts, starting from the army chief, the NAB chairman, and many others, those are signed by the the president, but the advice, or the, you can say, the heavyweight is with the Prime Minister, that he recommends, and ultimately ceremonially just president signs it for the and gives the final approval. Ombudsman is also called the grief man, that addresses the grief of the persons. If someone has any of the grief against his employer, institution or whatsoever, he can approach to the ombudsman. That is also called the Wafaki Muhtasib. So Wafaki Muhtasib, it listens the case, it gives direction, it has many powers, and it can put the case pending, send back to the for review, can give instruction over this. And then we talked about the what is the Milad, and Milad is an act of where any, the simply speaking, where any of the grief appears to any person, and any person at any time can approach to ombudsman for his justice. Now, what is our discussion today? Again, very critical discussion, the planning in Pakistan. Every time when we are talking about that there are the mischiefs of Pakistan, there are the grievances of Pakistan, ultimately at the end we stop at the situation that we were misplanned. Planning is well planned, is half done, but unfortunately since the inception of Pakistan in 1947, since then we are unable to plan in a better way. Although there have been different the 5-year plans and the other things, but as it should be, we can't say that this was the satisfactory. One of the biggest reasons for this was sometimes there was lack of expertise. The targets were more ambitious as compared to the reality. Many of the time there was the disturbance of the governments, there was the discontinuity of the policies. So these were some of the reasons that ultimately led to the, you can say, the misplanned Pakistan. And this, due to this misplanning, there are many problems that Pakistan, and whenever, interestingly, we want to solve this problem, we immediately say that we have to plan well. For example, in the previous government was unable to control the inflation, the falling value of the rupees, and many other things. But as the new government took charge, they tried by planning to address this issue. I am not saying that the new government has full control over this. However, they have changed their strategies, they have changed their plans, and they want to be this. So if the planning is so important, it means the planning machinery, the planning mechanism, the planning implementation, all these are relevant to us because we are talking about the public administration. So we will go through a bit history of this, that what is the planning, how it can be improved, what are the fundamental flaws with this. All this will be the part of our discussion. As usual, or you can say it is very interesting to start from that what is the definition of the planning. According to the Fritz Mosten, Marx says planning is preparation for action. Definitely there is a planning every time for any of the action. So if there is any, we have to take any action, we have to concentrate that how to plan this, because without planning we can't take an action in a proper way. Very simple. So even the lion, when he or she wants to attack his prey or her prey, the first plan you will have gone through many of this ecological, or you can say the documentaries, where you will see that the lions have been strategic. That is why they can overcome their prey that is much more powerful as compared to the lions. They attack their prey very strategically, and ultimately they are a winner and they prey their prey. So the first preparation is, again I would like to say, the well begun is half done. If we have started well, it is well and good, and there is the more probability that we are going to overcome this problem and we are going to accomplish this task in a wanted way, or according to the objective, or within the context of our objective. It is the vital first step. The first step is always very difficult. If we take the first step in the right direction, ultimately we will be reaching the destination in a more comprehensive way. So it is the first step in any major administrative action. For example, you are the public administration and you are given the task of the organization that is going under, you can say, under loss, and it is going down and down. Its conditions are going further deteriorating. For example, you are given the task of the PIA. So your first step is to plan. Do not go haphazardly. Do not start haphazardly. Just do this, reshuffling the employees. This is not one. First and foremost is that you think a lot before taking the first step. So what I am saying, my message is that you should have a good planning, and you should give a sketch and plan, and then you should go into the field, or you can say you could go for the accomplishment of your objective. Similarly happening in the teams nowadays, before starting any of the match, starting from the soccer to cricket, every captain, every coach and every related personalities think deeply, and then they decide that how they have to proceed. They look at the videos of the opponent players, they look at the condition, environmental condition, they look at the pitch if this is the cricket, and then the ultimate decision is on the task, and they talk about a lot before the task is being carried out. As the task is carried out, they immediately decide whether they are going for the bat or they are going for the ball. So this is all the planning. The more planning a country does, the more chances of victory of this. The similar thing is happening in the public administration. If you prepare your plan in a more comprehensive way, that is the first step. You are more probability that you are going to win this. Planning is means to an end. Planning is not the end. This is interesting, that planning is just a way to reach a destination. For example, if I want to complete this lecture, I have some of the planning in mind, that from where to start, how to deliver the summary of the previous lecture, which example I have to quote, up to which level I have to teach in this 1 hour, and what are at the end I will have to deliver the summary. So this is a very small planning. If I come here haphazardly, you can't see that the things are in a managed way. You will see that I will be sometime going up in the slides, I will be going down, because I have not well planned the lecture. So my ultimate objective is not to plan the lecture, but to deliver a lecture that is easily comprehensible to you all people. And I am sure, and I am much confident, you can say even the overconfident, that you are understanding the idea that I am trying to convey to you people. It is the process of the next second last line, you can see, it is the process of formulating objectives to be realized by administrative enterprise. Every administrative enterprise wants to realize some objective. What is the objective of public administration? To run any of the enterprise or the entity in a more effective way. How we judge that it is going in a more effective way? Mostly the profit is the more general indicator of this profit. So this process of formulating objective to be realized by administrative enterprises. So what is your planning? You are setting the objective of this. You are setting the standards, and every time your objective and your planning should be smart, specific, and it should be the measurable, it should be the adequate, and it should be real, and if that is the T, that there should be time involved. So everything is calculated in this. For example, if you go to visit some of the area of Pakistan, I say the northern areas, you do lot of planning before this, because you know how much resources you need, at what time you have to travel, what you will see there, how you will arrange your accommodation there, and whatsoever, what will be your transportation mode. These all things are planning. And if now I am convinced that you have understood the true meaning of the planning, that planning is nothing but it is in a way to achieve the objective. If objectives are achieved, we say that person is well planning. If objectives are not achieved, as has been in case of Pakistan over the years, that despite number of resources, even I can say, being the student of the economics, beginner of economics, I can say that we have infinity we can't use, but I can say that we have countless resources, but the misplanning, there is load shedding. We are the producer of the largest, we have the largest resources of this gas, we have the largest resources of coal and in Thar Park and other. The planning is nothing. We are importing oil and oil that is hitting our balance of payment, and ultimately we have to face a number of problems, starting from the fiscal deficit, the skyrocketing our debt, and these are all the problem for this. Only planning can do, only a visionary leader like Quaid-e-Azam. No other I can say with surety. To some extent I would like to say the Bhutto may have some of the, you can say, the charismatic powers, but unfortunately he could not survive for this. And the same had happened with the founder of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, that he could not survive for this, otherwise he should have planned in a better situation. Definition and meaning continues. Planning is process of determining the objective of administrative effort and devising the means calculative to achieve them. Not only it is to set the objective there, but what is this? There should be means, the plannings of the means, that how we have to achieve those objectives. Again, I would like to say, if I from this virtual campus, I will have to go back to my university. I have planning in my mind. What is my objective? My simple objective is to reach there in a very minimum time, as I may have there some of the activities there. So this could be the well planning. So the planning is a process. It is not a ultimate end. It is just a process, procedure, mechanism that determining the objective. That you set the objective, and what are the administrative effort and devising the means calculated to achieve them. The second definition is planning is the simply endeavor to apply foresight to human activity. Planning anticipate desired results and prepared the steps necessary for their realization. This is a more comprehensive way. I will cut this definition into different sentences. And planning is the simply an endeavor. Simply endeavor, it is enough effort. It is an exercise. It is an act. For what purpose? To apply foresight to human activities. Every time we are going for the human activities, you are the public administrative, humans are working under your control. So they are performing some of the human activity. They are employees working in the offices, working at the machines, working at the computers. These all have this significance. And what is this foresight to human activity? Planning anticipate. This is crucial and important, and you can say the critical, that the planning anticipates desired results and prepared the steps necessary for their realization. Anticipation भी आपने करनी है, आपने desired result की, and prepare the steps necessary for the realization, and you will have to go all through necessary actions, necessary steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one, that you will be going step. This is a ladder. Planning is a ladder. First we will do this. For example, you want to set up a new company, factory. First you will plan the location according to the demands, according to the inputs available, according to the human capital available, according to the other energy resources also that are easily and cost effectively available there. Then the next purpose is you will arrange the land for the construction of the building, and you will see many of the things, that is it near to the road, the land is appropriate, there is no a problem to the building. After making the building, then building has its own plan, and ultimately these are step by procedure you will have to later on it. So what is the last message? Those who fail to plan actually plan to fail. This is, if you read it again and again, those who fail to plan, the people, the nation, the countries, the societies, the communities that fail to plan, in reality what is this? Actually plan to fail. They definitely plan. If they are not planning, it means they are planning for the failure. Failure is written on the wall. It is crystal clear that they are not going to achieve, or they are not going to be victorious for this. So very interesting this, that if you are not planning, I can say you are planning to be fail. It means if you are not preparing your course, you are not listening to your lecturers, you are not listening these video lectures in detail and with full concentration, and then Google some of the things that are not clear to you at this stage, it means you are planning to fail. But I will request you that every time plan your life. Well planned life is more enjoyable as to the haphazard life. You will see many people around you, even including you and me, that we have not well planned life. The difference between our life and the other people is, the other means the developed nation, that their life is much calculated and well planned. For the timing they work, they play. For the time they play, they sleep, they eat, they go for a picnic. This is all. But what we do, if we try reading and before the examination studying, we keep on studying hours and hours, and ultimately this lead to deterioration of our health. Similarly, if we want to sleep, many times we can sleep hours and hours. So every time there is extremism, there is no well planning, no balance there. Balance is the planning. The more you are balanced, the more you are planned. Types of planning. What could be the types of planning? There could be more than these three planning types, but these are the major. Development planning. I would give it a very, you can say, the more importance. Development planning is that you plan to develop your country. Now I will differentiate between the economic planning and the development planning. Development planning is you first go through the problem of the country, and then you try to overcome these problems. For example, you think that there is a huge income inequality among the people. At one side, the people are very rich. On the other side, the people who have no access to the two-time food. So this is, it means it is not the development, it is the economic inequality among the haves and the have-not. And if this income inequality, or the difference between the haves and the have-nots, increases over time, there are innumerable problems that come into the society. For example, there are the dacoities, there are the robberies, there are the murders, there are the theft, there are the many other quarrels and whatsoever. The society stuck in their way. So the development planning means that you want to develop each and every person. In other words, I would like to say that you want to maximize the living standard of the people. Now the living standard could be the debatable thing, that what is this? I am not teaching you the pure economics. However, if you are concerned with the development of your employees, you will have to take some of the measures. For example, what measure you can say? You can send them for the training workshop. You can organize training workshop for them. You can increase a good you can arrange a good environmental condition for all those people that will increase their development. So this kind of development is called development planning. There are laws that ensure that in the factories there is some of the standards. Unfortunately, in all the developing countries, not only in Pakistan, these standards are not fully followed. So this is the development planning. And if you see that now we have gone some steps. The first step was the growth, economic growth. Then came the era of development, that equalize the resources endowment, and now there is the well-being, that see how much people are happy. It is quite possible that although I am doing this work, but I am not satisfied with this. You may be listening with me due to any reason, but you may not be satisfied this. So if this is the condition for this, so this could be growth, this could be development, that this is not the well-being. Well-being is only considered that when every person states that he is happy with this. Now there is the economic planning. Its importance can also not be ignored, because the development planning totally depends on this economic planning, because ultimately the resources will have to be arranged from the economic sectors. So economic planning is what this, at one side you see that what you want to do, on the other side you see that how you want to do, how much resources you need for to carrying out this. If you manage the balance, every time we have number of work to do. I want to make in each district a university and a PIMS like hospital. So now I have to wait and see that whether according to the economic planning this is possible. No, it is not possible, because we have not lot of resources. So within the resources you are doing this work. You have limited income, you means you and me both. I have not some unlimited, and no person on this universe, on this planet has, we can say, the unlimited wealth. Every time he is getting more and more, because he thinks that still his needs are not fully satisfied. So the economic planning, for example, if would you like to give me some suggestion for the economic planning of the Pakistan? Yes, I think you are saying that there should be the motorways, there should be there should be the this international airports, there should be the conferences of the international level, there may be the high level income and the education and the health standard. So these are all economic planning. So how you will achieve? For example, the first economic planning I will like to just give you. For example, it is the economic planning of the government that the inflation should go down. This is not the development planning, this is the economic planning. Now how government can do this? The government should avoid the printing of money that the government is doing on the continuous basis, that ठक 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 नोट जो है स्टेट बैंक की मशीनें जो है वो थक चुकी हैं छाप छाप के, and these notes are without guarantee. So as you publish, or you can say print the money without guarantee, it means you are printing massive money, and the supply is the same, the demand increases into the market, ultimately inflation will go up. So how you will be planning? You will be planning that if you are printing money, no doubt we allow you to print money, but put these monies to increase the supply of the goods and services. So there will be again balance. If there are 100 rupees increase in demand, there are the things, or the goods and services equal to 100 rupees that are available in the market, and there is, you can say, the equilibrium cross, the supply demand cross, that gives you that the market is in the equilibrium. The last one is administrative planning. I am feeling very difficulty in ranking these three: development planning, economic planning, and the administrative planning. The more I reach any of the topic, as I reach, I come to know that this is more important than the other. Administrative planning is again that this is the true planning. Resources will be there, human activity is there, land is there, all other resources are there. You are now in a position to administrate the planning. I used to repeat this word many times, that from one of the you can say the celebrity in economics or the social sciences, he was delivering a lecture at some of international conference, when he said, he was delivering lecture on the poverty, when he said that the poor countries are not poor because they are poor in resources. They are poor because they are poor in management or administration. So it means that lack of resources is no excuse. You can say that this is the lame excuse. So you have to generate, आपको अपनी ही दुनिया पैदा करनी पड़ेगी. There is no one to come to get us out of the troubled water. Ultimately, we are the people who will have to concentrate and we have to mend our own ways. खुदा ने आज तक उस कौम की हालत नहीं बदली, न हो जिसको ख्याल आप अपनी हालत के बदलने का. So ultimately we have to administrative. Now the people think about this, that the administrative is a very, very difficult task. I do believe, I have the experience, I have the life experience, and I am going through a very, very critical experience of this as I am heading the admission committee of this, that how much pressure is there, how much problems are there, what kind of the situation this. But at the same time, I am the strong believer that if we are allowed to manage all these things in a proper way, the efficiency could increase, not double, not triple, it can increase many, many fold. So the administration of the resources, I can quote many of the examples from my individual life from the countries where there are lack of resources. For example, if you go to the Japan has not massive natural resources. You can't mention even a single massive resource that is available in the Japan. But at the same time, they dominated the country. They are on the third or the fourth as a GDP nation. The first is the America, then is the, you can say, the Germany, and the other, and the Japan as the third or the fourth number after the China, and they are now competing with each other. So it means that the resources are not, the management of the resources, how they manage, कैसे आप उन्होंने मैनेज किया. I think you are aware of this, that they manage the resources optimally. They put money into the education, they put money into the skills, they put their money into the development of their people, they poured money into raising the higher standard of health in their people, they poured their money to make them maximum possible level of the literacy. And ultimately what happened is Japanese efficiency is more than 10 times greater than a person like in Pakistan, whatsoever the caliber is. So it means they are working every machinery wherever you could go, particularly the electronic machinery. You always see that you want the commodities or the units that are made in Japan. It is a trademark. It was a trademark when we were in the initial years of our stages. Still there is a trademark. You go for the iron, you go for the refrigerator, you go for the TV. Every time you are preferring this. No doubt that China has changed the situation a bit due to their massive low cost, but at the same time the people who are durability conscious, who are quality conscious, they still own this. From these 3 points, what I would like to conclude, my conclusion is that the resources are important, development is important, economic planning is important, but the administration is more important of the resources. Again, go to the Saudi Arabia, massive oil resources, but at the same time the heart comes out of the body that when we say that there is no any of the university that is in the first 500 universities of the world, massive wealth there, the per capita income is high in all the, you can say, these states, Sharjah, Dubai and whatsoever. So these people are not pouring their money into the true objective. And unfortunately, and again unfortunately, if there is a shortage of oil resources, what these countries will become? These countries will become desert. Although they are already desert, but still they have massive resources, they have large resources, but I am very sorry to say that they are not administrating their resources in a more appropriate way. Now, what is the planning process? That was the definition of the planning. Now we will see that how the planning process starts. That from where should I go to the objective, how I have to find objective, what mechanism available with me. So everything, this is the part of the process. So we will see there is no one best defined process of planning. एक कोई जो है वो सिक्का बंद जो है वो चीज़ नहीं. No hard and fast rule for the planning process. The situation can change, may change from time to time, from place to place, from country to country, from geography to geography, from community to community. The planning that is with the British cannot be directly applied to here. We have to change our planning a bit according to the local context. Many plans are well planned, but ultimately they fail because they do not fit in the contexture of the local community. We just import those planning process and just we put it into implication in our country, and ultimately the result is the civil servant says that it is well and good because they are getting extorting money from this, but ultimately there is no, you can say, the good planning. Again, one of the example, there is now the Prime Minister Youth Business Loan Scheme. It looks that it has been started haphazardly. No doubt the government took 4 to 5 years, but it was not as publicized as it should be. Because I fear, but at the same time I am optimistic also, that I fear that the government did not complete its homework on the issue. No, you can say that now there is hue and cry on the print and the electronic media, and government is now changing the form and relaxing some of the restriction, particularly in case of the grantor. So it means there was not too much homework on this. If it was, then there was no problem. Steps involved vary from person to person and situation to situation. If you are the CEO of the same organization and you are replaced by me, the same organization, the same entity, the same human capital, resources, geography, locality, and the vicinity, but at the same time it changes from person to person. For example, if you are the captain of the Pakistani team, you may start with the Muhammad Hafiz to start first over, that is the spinner. Quite possible, I am given the chance, I may start with Umar Gul or the other person, you can say the Junaid Khan or whatsoever. These are just example that it is the discretion and the understanding of the issue of any of the person that concentrate on this. He is allowed, he should be allowed, although he is following standard methodology, he has the experience, he is gaining information from the past, yet he has the privilege that he can go everywhere. For example, Nawaz Sharif has the privilege that he can choose his policies according to his own one. Steps involved in planning are not rigid. ये कोई इस तरह 2+2 नहीं है. These are not rigid. These are relaxable. क्यों relaxable? According to the context. If you are not allowing, your planning process is not flexible, it means it is rigid, and as it is rigid, it is not incorporating the true information gained from the local areas. Again, I would like to say, you can see the Centeras Hotel, Centeras restaurants or hotel in the Billu area, Islamabad. Very, very high standard hotel this is. But at the same time, if you construct this hotel into the district of Tharparkar in the desert, the same situation is there, the hotel is there, but its planning was misplanned. So this is that its steps are not necessary that these are involved. So we will see some of the general steps that are more important in any of the planning, starting from the educational department towards even the implementation of the law and order situation in the country. In other words, I can say this is the process that is equally relevant for a teacher sitting in the primary school in any part of the Pakistan, and equally important for the General Rahil Sharif, as he has to deal with the terrorist with iron hand. You can see there is the strategy. The previous government tried to push back the terrorist with power, state power, but the new government is more inclined towards the negotiation, because they do believe that the negotiation, it is just the change of the captaincy. The situation is the same. There are the terrorist attack, there is the terrorist problem, but Nawaz Sharif has the different mentality or the way of thinking or the way of planning. The Zardari and the Gilanis and the others, they have their own. We can't say which is the better, which is not the better. The results will show that what was the situation this. The first one is steps in planning are, the first is problem definition. भाई ये तो पता करो कि issue क्या है. Every time we start without knowing the process. I am sure if you are now the students, if you are a researcher, the most critical part in your thesis is the identification problem. Because if you understand the problem in a more proper way, I can guarantee you that you have done 80% of your task. This is the more critical. First, identify the problem. For example, this government has just taken over a 4 or 5 month back. What is this? They took time to recognize the problem, that what are the problem, is the definition of the problem, how they can overcome this problem. So the problem definition, can you tell what are the more important problem at this Pakistan? Now I am talking about the country problem, economic problem. Inflation is there, poverty is there, lack of education, illiteracy, low health standard, high population growth rate, high inflation, law and order situation, low investment, high corruption. I can go either one by one. The government cannot simultaneously fight with so many enemies, so the government should choose a mechanism that is more suitable and that is feasible to address all these problems. So the problem identification is the trademark of your planning. If you identify the problem, for example, our government identifies that the Taliban cannot be negotiated and they only understand in the power of your state. So ultimately, you have identified the problem. You can now use the state power with your agencies and you can push them back, or you can get your areas free from those. And our army has a very, very large capacity, full potential to fight this way. Only there is the problem that no government is owning this issue. If any of the government give free hand to our army, however our army can take free hand for this, they can easily push these miscreants out of our boundaries. Exploring of information. You identified the problem, although your identification of the problem was also based on the exploration of the information. Now we suppose that on the given information, on the available information, you identified the problem. The next is exploration of information. Now you will have to learn more and more problem, because now you are entering into the practical phase and you are going to implement the process of this. So explore the more information. Every time I am speaking, the more information you have, the more powerful tool you have to address the issue. If this is the for example, if this is the problem, you know only 3 of this problem, this is hidden, it means the model is not complete. If you are fully aware of this hand, definitely now you have a true and the clear picture before this, and you can easily say that how you are going to address this. The third one is the defining the possible alternatives. One objective can be achieved by different alternatives. So what is then your planning? You will be choosing the more appropriate, the best, otherwise best. Rather, I should say that you can choose the optimal source for this. For example, I say that you want to travel from Lahore to Karachi or from Islamabad to Karachi. Number of options available. You can go by your own car, you can go by rail, you can go by air, you can go by the public transport, or you can say the Daewoo or whatsoever. So 4 or 5 options are available. You identified the problem that you want to reach Karachi. You have the information that 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 options are available. This. Now what is this? Defining possible alternative. All are the possible, but how these are possible? what is the critical nature or the condition that why you want at how much in how much time you want there. Agar wahan koi emergency nahi hai, it is better to go by train. If there is emergency, you have the resources, the air route is the more appropriate for this. So the third step after the identification of the problem, exploration of the information, डिफाइनिंग पॉसिबल अल्टरनेटिव. एक ही पे कंसंट्रेट नहीं कर देना कि जी काम प्लानिंग हो गई ठक से यू स्टार्टेड दिस दैट यू आर गोइंग टू चूज दिस वन. List that you can do this work by A, B, C and up to Z. Now make a cost benefit analysis of each and every one. I am sure you will be reaching at the more appropriate best or the optimal option. What after this? Experimenting one or more tentative solution. From the previous link, you experiment, you conduct a project, you can pilot project and you see that which is more feasible. And experiment one or more attentive. You can take this could be, this could be and this could be. And after making the experiment, you will be in a position. Now experiment, it doesn't mean that I am saying that you should go to the Karachi first by aeroplane, then by the train and then by the other thing. No, you are making the cost benefit analysis. You are experiencing कि अगर मैं air route से जाता हूँ, what could be the cost, what could be the benefit. If you go by the rail, it is my suggestion not to go by the rail, because if you want to reach the Karachi, there is no guarantee that there will be train on the regular time. Evaluation. Evaluation means that on different step you keep on an critical eye on each of the step. For example, if you have planning to construct a building, when the foundation is laid down, you will have to evaluate this. If it is according to the standards and plan, then you can go for the second step. In many of the Pakistani plans, it happens that we check them at the last moment and the whole money is wasted. For example, if you see when there are the road construction, the evaluation team comes and they just dug from one place and they say that the road is not according to the standard. Definitely they pass it after taking some of the money. But ultimately, by step, on the first layer, on the second layer, on the third layer, on the fourth layer and the final layer, they should have a critical eye on this. Otherwise the problem, this will be the total wastage of the resources, and resources are critically scarce, particularly the countries like Pakistan, they are under the poverty. Reconsideration, readjustment or redecision. कभी भी एक बात पर जिद ना करें. Keep in mind that everything is not final and correct. And sometime in the beginning it looks that this is according to the full information and it is the final best optimal solution. But due to change in the environment, there is the possibility that this plan is now not now feasible. For example, if you want to go for travel, you planned all well, but immediately you saw on the news bulletin that the weather is going to be very critical in the next few days. So do not be rigid. Do not take the risk. Do not resist that you will be going in this way. You will have to address, you will have to change your plan. You may go after 1 week, you may even go after 2 weeks. So there is the flexibility. If there is the building, you set this, but ultimately some engineer told you that this problem could occur and this could destroy the whole beauty or the functioning of the building. You should not say that this has been done by the very eminent and the experienced engineers. No doubt you did this, but you should reconsider it. And if you reconsider it, you should readjust. ये नहीं है कि इधर से सुना और इधर से जो है वो निकाल दिया. It doesn't mean. Many times it happens. We have for example, we are researcher, we are giving many solutions to the governments on different issues, writing articles, publishing books, but there is no heed towards the any of the suggestion, not only from my articles but from not any of the people. If government take a finance minister for his own choice, definitely he will be taking the things according to his own plan, and he has the right, he has the privilege to plan the things according to his own plans. So the reconsideration, readjustment or redecision, these are extremely important for this. कि लचक आप में जो है वो होनी चाहिए. Look at the people. Some people are inflexible. When they are in power, in their extreme power, they are thought that they are the suitable person. But when they are they lose their grip, come to know that they were not the wise person. There are many quotations we can say that due to this reason the problem occurred. And अगर वहाँ पर ये इतनी सी इसमें change आ जाती, the building would have very proper. So this was the planning process, starting from the problem definition, the first and the fundamental procedure of the planning, and ultimately reconsidering readjustment or the redecision. Principles of planning. What is the unity of plan? There should be no hick and check for this. These are my personal words, hick and check. Do not worry about this, that what are the meaning for this. If you are from the same nationality and locality, you can this way. Unity of the plan, that there is a fundamental plan, there are not the opposite forces. For example, if I say that the government wants to curb the inflation, there should be the unity of plan between the provinces and the central government. If there is not unity of the plan, the federal government is taking the measures to curb the inflation, but all the provinces or any one or two provinces, they are not taking the advice given by the state bank or the government. It means that there is no unity of plan. So unity of plan is important. If you are the owner of the house, you are head of the family, you should have the unity of plan. कि जो भी आप करें उसको रिकंसीडर करें, रीडिफाइन करें, सबसे सलाह मशवरा करके. Even the people you think that they are useless, they are less intelligent, though I can assure you, I have the critical experience of this, that if you do not include all the people, you do not take all the stakeholders on the board, ultimately your decision has the more chances to be the failure. And unfortunately, if there is failure, the people to whom you didn't contact or you did not take them on the board, they will be criticizing more as compared to the other people. So every time, every person may give, every brain have some distinguished. The nature doesn't put all these that the similar things. It has some specialty. You may be more special in the public administration. I may be more special in, you can say, the public policy. The other in X, Y, Z, and you can see that the brothers and sisters from the same father, from the same mother, much more difference between them. One is extremely extraordinary in mathematics, the other is extraordinary in Urdu, English, or the social sciences. So this is the just, and there should be the unity of command. Take all the people on the board. The problem with not combating the Taliban is one that there is not unity of the command. Sometimes the army is not on the board, sometimes the government, the political government is not on the board. And the same happening in case of, you can say, the drone attacks. Continuity of plan. We will discuss after this slide that there should be a continuity of the plan. If plan goes on and on, the success chances increases. For example, if the Zardari government left many of the project unaccomplished, the new government should carry on this. If government will stop this project, much of the money will be wasted, and that is very limited money. That is the tax of the poor nation. So they are this. The government should also launch the new policies like the youth business scheme, the motorways, the Islamabad Murray train, and the Abbottabad Islamabad tunnel. These are all viable, but at the same time the government should not stop all the policies that were the previously. And this government has showed such a bit kind of maturity that they decided to continue the Benazir income support program. that has a massive money. Mechanism should be improved, that if there are scams, there are scandals of malpractices, they can be overcome and they can be handled through making different kind of mechanism. But it is not just true that you should change the situation. Over the history of Pakistan, this is the one of the biggest unlucky area of Pakistan, that there have been not the continuity of the plan. Timing of the plan. Time is very important. A thing is very important at this time. This keyboard is very important for me at this time, but I am not sure that this will be, as after this lecture, this will be an important. So if I put it here that it is, I will take it after the lecture, it is not. So planning is that all the time is critical. For example, if the people are dying with hunger at this time, why should we think about the motorways? Why should we think about the Abbottabad-Islamabad tunnel? Why should have the metro trains or whatsoever the situation? The planning is the timing is the important. If people are suffering from health, if people are suffering from the low education standard, the first priority should be given to all these problems. If government doesn't give priority to all these problems, then there is the problem, and you can see that there are the principles of the plannings are not directly followed. Suppleness of plan, that how viable this one is. Is it according to the needs and desires of the people? If it is this, it means that the feasibility or the practicability of the plan. If it is feasible according to the plan, the contextual, the limitation of the resources, and according to the environment, if everything is on the board and okay, we can say that this is well and good. And the last rule, but not the least, is that the precision in planning. In Pakistan, you can see that if there is any of the policy, you can see the environmental policy, many pages are there. No precision, detailed discussion of this, but ultimately without any use. So the more precision, you should have been very quickly. No doubt on the one set, on the PCO, there should be the detail of as much as possible, but at the same, the precision is the soul of the planning. If you are not precise, it means you are wasting lot of resources, lot of time, and you are not concluding at a proper time. So this was the principle of planning. If you go back, this was the planning process, types of planning, definition, and this was the situation. So as the time is ticking 1 hour, I would like to brief about this, that I think this is the simplest topic of this course, that the planning. Even a child play. यार आप देख लें कि बच्चे को पैसे दें, give 10 rupees to a child of 3 or 4 years, you will see that he will trying to plan it. Today, whether he will have to just spend now, he may immediately go to the shop, he may spend 2 rupees on the toffees, 2 rupees on this dalchini or whatsoever, that are the bubbles and the others that are favorite for the students. So we started from the planning, the definition of the meaning. Every time, whenever you start any of the topic, this is the basic idea that you introduce the topic. So as we introduce that topic, what is the planning? Similar, that you plan that according, you keep your objective in front of you, you take your resources into account, and you go through different alternatives, and then this is called the planning. In other words, I can say this is the anticipation. If the more anticipative you are, the more chances of success of the planning. Now the issue was how to plan. There are some of the steps, but these are not rigid, final, the rule of thumb or the general standard. These can help for that to framing the procedure. The first was, I think, that the identification of the issue. Then we saw about that we have to go through some of the alternatives. Then we have to administration of this. And I think the second last was that how we go through the readjustment, the reshuffling of this, and these everything were the part of this. We went through the types of planning, development planning, economic planning, administrative. all were very important and their respective time. Then we talked about that what are the principle of planning. Know again rule of thumb, time is very important, continuity of plan is the necessary condition, unity of the plan should be the basic idea for this, precision in planning, and there is the continuity of the plan. So we will discuss this, as we said that the plan, there should be the continuity of plan. We will continue this discussion in the next lecture. Till that time, take care, goodbye, and Allah Hafiz.